Okay. All right, I'm going to call this meeting to order. It's the Tree Subcommittee of the Parks and Recreation Commission. Present are Chris McCoy, Bridget McBride, and myself, Jessica Gerber. Okay, let's see. First up, we will have do the Pledge of Allegiance, I guess. And hold on one second. Okay. All right. Okay, I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's always the most awkward start to the call.
It's so funny, like when you have the Pledge of Allegiance with 9 Board of Ed members and the superintendent, it's like the most disjointed thing. So it's actually easier for 3 people. Okay, so first up we have approval of the August 10th and August 25th subcommittee meeting minutes. Were there any questions about either of those?
Nope.
Everything looks okay? Okay.
No.
Great. So we will say that the meeting minutes for those 2 dates have been accepted by the committee. And now we'll go ahead with item number 2, review submissions. So I forwarded to you all those submissions that we received regarding the Tree of Hope. And so we do have a nice number here. And luckily most of them didn't request the same month. So in terms of scheduling this, assuming that we want to move ahead with all of them, we actually could do this without too much difficulty. So I don't know if we want to kind of go through each one individually, or if there are specific ones that you wanted to speak to, or if we maybe just want to go through. I did put together a possible calendar based on the requests we received. So if you wanted to go that way, kind of month by month, and kind of see where we are and see if we want to move anything around, I'm open to suggestions how you want to do this.
Jessica, it's Chris. Thank you for doing that, by the way. That was a huge help. I was actually thinking about it this morning, and I didn't get around to it, but this is great. My only question, I guess, and concern is I know I see some of these folks have requested multiple months. Do we want to be so generous right off the bat, or do we want to wait and see if more organizations come calling?
That was my question. And actually what I was going to say, just based on the groups that did put submissions in, that did request things, my thought would be perhaps to have, if they requested perhaps more than 1 month, to give them the earlier months that they requested, and then that will give us more time to see if we get more requests coming in for later months.
I like that idea.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. So, in fact, just to kind of, so maybe what we'll do is we'll just kind of go through this calendar that I set up just like month by month and kind of see how that works, and we can always go back and talk about the specific organizations. So right now, as we know, we already have the Fairfield Equity Coalition for this month. I'm going to touch base with them today just to see. I know they were in touch with Al about getting the lights going, so I don't know. I was thinking probably they might not be able to get them in time for today, which is the beginning of the month, but just wanted to see kind of where they were with that. And then Pink Pledge, like I said, I did contact Megan. I haven't heard back from her yet, but again, we have some time with that, so I was going to give her another call tomorrow just to make sure that she did receive my initial message and see how she wanted to move forward, whether or not she wants to go through Al for the lights, or if she has some lights on her own. I think she did say somewhere that they obviously, because Pink is so big for their organization, that they did have some Pink lights already, but I will touch base with her again. So then moving ahead to the next month for November, on the schedule I put PAL, the Police Athletic League. They were, I think, the only organization that didn't request a specific month, and I just thought since none of the other organizations that had requested specific months requested November, so I thought we would put PAL in first, again thinking that if there were later months that we could kind of leave those open longer to see if we get more interest from other organizations. So that was my thought.
I like that.
For PAL. So what I could do is, if we do want to move ahead with PAL, I can contact Bob Syrup and just see, again, if he wants to, if they have their own lights or if they want to go through Al for that. And then next, the following month, obviously we already have Al's Angels Saugatuck Suites for December and the first half of January. And so I didn't bother to put anyone else in for then, just because I thought, we'll just we can maybe play that by ear again, see if there's some interest from another organization, or if we would just want to, have the tree dark. I mean, it doesn't have to be lit 365 days a year, and obviously there will probably be some off days, when groups are switching over. So, in January there's not an awful lot going on. So if it's not lit for the second half of January, I didn't think that would be a problem necessarily. And then for February, I had put PAL again. So again, since if we wanted to go ahead with PAL for November, I would then just suggest taking PAL off February, obviously, and just leaving that open to see if there are any other organizations that would like to take that spot. I mean, I'm thinking that once people see the tree lit, and, I'm going to be sending information out to the local press just about it, that we may get some more interest then. So then that could be a spot that somebody else could take. And then moving ahead to March, St. Baldrick's. The entire month of March is kind of the biggest St. Baldrick's month, so that seemed to make the most sense for that one. April, the Center for Family Justice requested a number of dates. They've requested, I think, three months. So I thought, and again, here what we could do is we could, give them the April month, and then I also have them scheduled for June, so we could kind of leave that open for now, again, to see if there's additional interest. But, I'm thinking if there isn't additional interest, for, this group, I don't think it would be a terrible thing to give them 2 opportunities. But, that's kind of, I'd be interested to get your take, and we could also bring it to the full commission to see if they had any thoughts on that. Then Fairfield Cares, they asked for a number of different months, but the one that seemed to be the most important to them, for mental health awareness is May. So then that would work for them. And then, like I said, with June, we can either leave that open and see if there's interest from someone there. Pan Mask requested July or August. So, again, if we wanted to give them July and then leave August open to see if there was some interest, that's kind of what I'm thinking. But, I'd like to hear what you two think about this.
I have a quick question. The Pan Mass, is that bike race from one end of the state to the next?
Yeah, it's the Pan Mass Challenge is it goes through Massachusetts, and basically locally here with the McCreesh family, who has been very involved in pediatric cancer research for years. Their son Brent is a cancer survivor, and so they started out. They did St. Baldrick's events for some time, and now they've done the Pan Mass. They have their own team that has been incredibly successful in raising money. So. And they've been very active, and there are a number of people in our town and in our area who drive up to Massachusetts to do this every year. So it's definitely become kind of a Fairfield family tradition for a lot of families here. Do you know if
the race is in July or August? That was really what I was getting at.
It's usually about the first week in August. A few years I've driven riders up because they all meet down here at the McCreesh's house, and then I drive them up to Worcester because that's where they start there. And I believe it's usually the first weekend in August. But there's a lot of lead up to it in July, so I think it could be either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
It's in August itself, but there is so much going on in July, kind of getting people pumped up for it. I mean, obviously that didn't happen this year, unfortunately, but there is that too. So.
So July would be great, and then just see what happens in August.
Right, exactly. Although the one thing I was thinking, we didn't hear from this organization, but it is one that it has a lot of local ties, is the Connecticut Challenge, which is the local Connecticut
about the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, I was thinking that
and
too.
they're in July. So that was my only thing. So what I was thinking what I might do is that I know a lot of people who have done the Connecticut Challenge again this year. They didn't have it, but I was going to reach out to one of them to see, assuming that they hadn't seen anything about this, to see if they might be interested, in which case then they could take July because their race is in July, and then Pan Mass could be in August. So I don't know if we wanted maybe kind of hold off for now until I talk to, Connecticut Challenge. I mean, those are the furthest away from where we are right now, so we do have some flexibility with that. But, that was one organization that I kind of thought of once I heard from Pan Mass. I was like, I wonder if the Connecticut Challenge might be interested too. So and if they were, then we could do July for them and then August for Pan Mass.
Sounds good.
It would be really cool to – have you guys ever seen when people do like a fundraiser, and they have all the stationary bikes out in like one place. Have you ever seen those? It's like a continuous
I know
ride.
the Fitness Edge used to do it, right? And that wasn't that
I don't
tied into
know,
the Connecticut Challenge, or?
That's what I was wondering. I feel like if we did something with one of these organizations, that would be so cool because it would be an amazing visual just for people to come and see, and then, I don't know, draw a little bit more awareness. But I don't know if that's something that they do. So.
Yeah, I mean, I know that they have in the past. I mean, again, I think unfortunately this year is not a really good year to refer to things because so many things were canceled.
I know.
But I did have friends who did it. I want to say maybe it was like sometime in the winter, maybe like in January or something like that, or February. I'm pretty sure it was after the holidays, and they had something like at Fitness Edge, I believe, and it was like I don't know how many horrible hours that they were riding on.
I know.
I mean, it sounds like hell on earth to me, but I know people love it. So
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. So, well, and I do have a really good friend who has done that in the past, so I could reach out to her too and see, if that's something that just kind of run it by them and see if they might be interested in talking amongst themselves. And I mean, again, I'm not sure if they do it in the winter, whether or not they'd be able to plan an event for this coming winter. Unfortunately, with everything up in the air the way it is, but certainly wouldn't hurt to do some outreach on that. So
yeah.
So basically, so just to recap, so we, the first two, we have those already be confirmed. If we wanted to go ahead with PAL for November, then we have Al's Angels for December and the beginning of January. We have nothing in February as of now. March could be St. Baldrick's. April would be the Center for Family Justice. May would be Fairfield Cares. We could leave June open for now. And then the only question here is with July and August, if we want to see about Connecticut Challenge for July, and then PanMass could be August. Okay. So that would leave us with February and June that could be open. Although, again, if we don't get any interest from any other organizations in June, that the Center for Family Justice would be able to, because, again, they were, commemorating specific, causes within their organization, so they were two different causes that they were looking at. So so that would just be, something we could kind of, see where they are. Let's see. Pride Month is June, and April is Child Abuse Awareness Month. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see something Pride related for June if there's any local. I can kind of research and just see if there's something. The only other thing I just thought of, and I'm like kicking myself for not reaching out to her, is a good friend of mine does a big, huge fundraiser every single year for the Pediatric Hydrocephalus Fund, and she's a big advocate in Washington for it and everything, and their month is November. I'm not saying that I want to bump PAL by any means, but I would love to just ask her if that's something she'd be interested in, because she does a big thing every year, and I don't know how else she would be able to raise money since it's usually in a spin class, and that's probably not going to happen. So I don't know. I can ask her, but again, I don't want
so then do we want to hold off? I mean, because we do have some time because the commission meeting isn't until September 16th. So do we want to maybe see if if you want to reach out to your friend, I could reach out for the Connecticut Challenge to see.
Sure.
And then if that turns out, if she does, in fact, if she is interested for November, then we could move PAL to February. She could take November. And then we could see about the whole July, August, for PanMass and Connecticut Challenge. And then that would just leave June open as a possible, although the Center for Family Justice could take that for Pride Month. So, I don't know if you guys, again, this could be a pretty quick meeting next week if we get, everyone, if people get back to us and let us know if they're interested, then we could just kind of review what we have right now and then just kind of confirm it and then get it to the full commission by the 16th.
Yeah, I think.
Does that sound?
I'd be in favor of that if that's okay.
Chris, how about you?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, okay. Great. So then what we're going to do, so what we have right now, so potentially November could be the other organization, and then we would bring PAL to February. And then we could see about Connecticut Challenge for July and then PanMess for August. So June would be the only kind of up in the air whether or not we want to have another organization or return for Center for Family Justice. So other than that, though, what I wrote out on this schedule would be what we would be recommending to the full commission.
Okay.
Correct.
I think that's
okay.
Great.
Great.
I'm impressed that so many people submitted already. That's great.
Yeah, no, I think it's good, and I do think it's going to be the kind of thing that, if we can get a little bit of local press about it once we start doing it, once people go by and see the different colors on different months, I think it could really spark some interest moving forward so that next year, we may be getting more interest from a diverse group, and then we can kind of, share the wealth with other groups. But, if everyone is really happy with this and nobody new gets back to us, it could become a yearly thing, and that would certainly make our job a lot easier if everyone's doing the same month each year. But, I think we just need to see how it goes, and, and then hopefully it'll be successful one way or the other, either with this particular group or with additional groups who may come on board.
Where did most of these groups hear about this?
I am not sure. I did do some outreach to some groups. I don't know. The Center for Family Justice, I think they may have actually, did they not write something in favor talking about Al's Angels, I think?
They did, yeah. They had written a letter. I actually referenced that letter during that meeting.
Our meeting. Right. And
it was nice to see a bunch of these other.
Right. So Fairfield Cares, I think they just heard it from word of mouth. I'm not sure because I did not reach out to them. St. Baldrick's I knew about, and I passed on to the other organizations. And then I also had reached out to Bob Syrup at PAL.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Bob used to be on the board, right?
He used to be on the commission, right? So and he and I had been talking about other stuff, and I just said, you might want to check this out, and I sent him the press release, and then he's on the board of PAL, so he brought it to their board, and they were interested. So basically, I guess what we can do then, Bridget, if you want to talk to your person, and I will talk to my person, and then maybe we'll. By the end of the week, be able to figure out if there's some day next week. Again, it could be literally a 5-minute conversation just to kind of reconfirm everything and just plug in the new organizations for these couple of months that we are up in the air right now.
I think she's on mute.
Oh, are you there, Bridget?
That works for me. Sorry.
Oh,
yep.
Hey,
sorry,
okay.
I was just muted.
Sure. Okay, great. So let's see. So with that said, here consider act upon any other business, which will probably come before this meeting. I don't think we have anything unless either of you have anything additional you wanted to bring up.
No, I'm all set.
I'm good.
Good. Okay, great then. So basically maybe I'm going to reach out to my person and I'll email both of you once I hear back from them. And Bridget, if you want to do the same. And then once we have a better sense of what we're looking at, we can look at some dates and times for next week and just schedule a quick meeting just to reconfirm everything. And then I'll be able to forward everything to Scott and Kelly for the agenda for the 16th.
That sounds great to me.
Okay, great. So with no other business before us, I will call this meeting adjourned.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Nice.
All right, thank you, guys.
All right, take care. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.